Hello all, welcome to this channel on Learn to Excel. You're with me, Sharmila. We're going to continue on the topic of how to improve communication skills. In the last training session, we spoke about the importance of English communication. So in today's session, we will see some of the tips which will help us in improving English communication skills. So these are the various skills if we want to bring in efficiency in any language, right? Not just English. So first is speaking, how we can improve our speaking skills, then improving our listening skills, because that is very important if we have to improve our speaking, writing, or the overall language skills. Then improving your writing skills. So this is just a crisp of what we can do to improve English communication. So we'll go through each of these in detail in the forthcoming slides. There are 8 simple ways that we are going to speak through in today's session. So the first and foremost is that in order to improve English communication, you need to get some real life practice. So there's no way that one person can go and attend some training session or listen to some training and bring in some improvement in the language, right? So it is not possible. You need real life practice, which requires us to put in some time and effort in order to bring in some efficiency in the language. So the first tip is that to watch, listen, or read news in English. So many people, if you see, routinely begin the day watching the news or reading the newspaper, either headlines, or maybe they spend a little more time more than reading the headlines. So it could be any language, but they do this. So why not take the same approach, but in English? So make it a routine to read news in English or watch news in English. So if you look at the current world, everything is available on the internet. There are many news channels, even the regional languages, which broadcast news in English at least once in a day. So at first, you might probably find it difficult to understand everything at one go, but let me assure you, you will learn much more by listening in, even if that is just for 5 to 10 minutes a day, right? So watching news in your native language and listening into the same channel in English broadcast will help you to get familiar with the main headlines and give you an easy point of reference. So if it's a news that is spoken in a regional language, whether Tamil, Kannada, or Telugu, whatever, and then you listen to the same news in English, it will help you to better relate, right? So reading news or even articles in English. So this way you will learn new words and build on your vocabulary too. Also, your grammar will improve automatically as you continue to read and listen to it English. So that's the first tip. Watch, listen, or read news in English. Second important tip is to listen to short stories and watch with subtitles. So here is this a short story that is about the mouse and the lion. This we can say that this is another easy and best way to improve English skills. So short stories will expose us to learning English in a more natural way and will help us to learn words in some context and remember them forever. All right. So say for example, in this particular story, there are so many words that you can actually learn, right? So the words like I'll starve, right? Eld, kindness, peculiar, right? So you will get to learn a lot of words and build on your vocabulary, and you will understand how to build sentences, right, with the proper grammar and even the punctuations for that matter. So short stories are effective in improving all aspects of the language learning, that is reading, writing, and speaking. You can also practice your reading skills when you see the vocabulary words that you have learned in the context, right? So when you say that you learned two, three words from this particular story, say you learned kindness or help. So these words you can put it into your use when you're conversing with somebody, right? Or maybe you can explain the story to somebody, maybe family, friends, if you have to build on your language skills. So you can use short stories to enhance your writing skills by using them as examples. So if you see here, there's a short story written. So by writing your own stories, say you know some story in your own regional language, why not try writing that in English? So as you get more practice in the use of the vocabulary and creating your own sentences, it will help you in improving the language. So you can practice speaking and listening by reading the stories out loud. That is one other thing that you can do. There are many recorded short stories available on the internet. So even I have recorded some 30 plus stories, kids stories, which you can listen in on an audio. So practice um, the words or sentences or the writing skills using these short stories. So that's another tip which will definitely help you in improving your communication skills specific to English. Let's look at other tips. Um, the third important tip is to trick yourself into learning on your phone. So, if you're looking for further easier ways to learn English, you can increase your exposure to the language with simple tricks, like, say, for example, changing the default language on your phone, computer, or tablet. This will force you to learn new English words since you're likely already comfortable with your personal electronic devices, you will definitely go and look up for some words if you're not able to understand. So, if you're often browsing the internet, say for example, then you can update your language of preference to English. So, every time you want to hunt for some information, you will use English as default language. So, you will get used to it, and this will help you to improve your grammar, vocabulary, and every aspect of the language. So, every single step will help you improve English skills. So see, it's easy for you to speak in English on daily basis. So this is another important tip. um, the next important or simple way that will help you in terms of improving your language is getting into the habit of writing. While speaking is important, let me tell you, writing is equally important to master any language, let alone be English. So, in the past, if we see people used to write letters, right? Now, who writes letters these days? It's with the advancement of technology, everything happens via phone calls or mails, maybe. But writing will surely help you in your language in terms of forming right sentences, also help you to get practice using the right grammar and words and help you build on your vocabulary too. Or you can write your day-to-day activities or your life too, like say journalizing your day or anything special you came across during the day. So I used to have this habit of journalizing, and it definitely helped me a lot, if not improving my language skills, at least as a stress buster. So try to use writing for journaling, which will definitely help you in terms of improving your writing skills. Secondly, try conversing with people via mails. So try to write mails even at workplace if your work involves the same. Maybe you would have spoken about it to the concerned person, but document it through email. That way, you will practice at the same time, have it documented for further reference. Right. So getting into the habit of writing is another important tip which will help you in improving English skills. Let's look at the other tips. So, focus on speaking the language. Speaking English is also key in mastering the language. Learning to speak English every day means finding opportunities to converse with other people, right? So this is definitely not an easy task because you need to find the people with whom you can converse in English. If you do not find anybody with whom you can speak in English, you can look at some of the tips like you can reach out to your friends who are good with the language and you can try conversing with them in English. Do not get comfortable with your regional language because you are trying to do something, trying to improve your English. So you can try speaking in English with your friends. That will definitely help you and give you a partner with whom you can converse in English. Second thing is you can speak to your coworkers in English. Do not shy away or get comfortable speaking in your native language. You might be losing a very good opportunity to learn something from the other person. And the last option can be like if you do not find anybody, listening to people who call you for maybe for some bank loans or some advertising, or maybe you call them and ask about some offers, right? That way you are able to speak to them in the language, right? So that's one other thing which will help you in terms of building your language skills. So the next important tip is to get into the habit of reading books. So, reading books will help you learn English every day. So, try these small tips like start with very small, right? Maybe some novels, which will help you in terms of um, understanding the story and see how the vocabulary is being used, how sentences are formed. um, I think books are the best way a person can build on the vocabulary. Or read a dual language book. Say, for example, there is a book which is available in two different languages. One is in your native, and the other is obviously English. Try using those books, reading those books. That way, you are able to reference back in your native language as well. Or try some books which you are well known to. Say, for example, Mama, that's available in English as well. That's a Tamil series story. So you can try reading that in English. So that's one other important tip for you to improve on your communication skills, getting to into the habit of reading books. Let's move on to the next, the seventh tip: play English games. So you might probably already be aware that we have everything in the form of games these days. And if you have some free time between your busy schedule, why not download one of the many interesting games available for your phone? So even if you want to speak right every day, it might feel difficult or you might lack motivation, but playing game doesn't feel like work, right? So you will still get the benefits of learning the language and not stress yourself. So why not use the game option um, for building your language skills? So look into your phone apps and explore various games available. There are many games available and you can learn a lot with some fun. So here are two games that I could find on the apps which will help you to build on your English communication. So one is fishing with grammar, the other one is this English grammar showdown. So you get to learn a lot of things on this. Last but not the least, tip is to crash in front of the television, not to watch something in our native language, but in English or the language that you want to build on. So at the end of a long day, say for example, your life, you would not want to spend hours working on English grammar or going in depth of the language. Instead, why not watch a television, right? A series in English. Simply you just turn on the subtitles and maybe watch it. Even if you're not watching them consciously, subconsciously, you're listening into them. Your grammar will improve. You will catch new words. Whenever you come across those words, you will know how those words are being used, the meaning of it. So even if a full television show feels very boring, you can turn on to some comical videos, even available online, right? So even if you do not pay much attention to it, you'll surely learn a lot on the go. right? So practice and continuous effort will surely help you to build on your language efficiency and help you grow in the job too. So let me tell you with my own personal experience, even people who are not good at work, just because their communication is great, they have grown to a greater extent in their career. I have witnessed this personally. And I also, from my own experience, I've not been a great English speaker, but my job required me to speak to different people in various regions. It required me to write emails and also to do presentations in front of various audience. And that practice helped me to improve on my language and the accent. It not be great, but I might not be great, but I'm definitely better than what I was before. So these are the various tips that we can use to build on the language proficiency, whether it is in terms of speaking, writing, or listening. Um, so I hope these tips help you and you put in some time and effort to get better at the language. So thanks for watching. If you have any feedback, please leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.